Okay, so he didn't take it Best Buy because he can do what they do, but he was gonna send it to the lab. And anyway, the stuff that they told him, he knows more than they realize he know, because he's a computer guy.
Yeah.
But he don't want to let them know because he want to see if they're gonna try to get him or whatever. But they said they couldn't guarantee a retrieval, but it would be like I think the price they gave him was like $3,500. I was like, if you don't get that hard drive sent back here and do whatever it is you do, so because he had got a couple of softwares before he sent it out, that's what made him sent out because he wasted $200 on that. You know what I mean? Because you got to go on reviews and stuff from regular people that used it before, and there's no guarantee on that either. So after a couple $100, you're like, well, you might as well send it out. So he sent it out, and when he was listening to what they were saying, not that they were saying anything necessarily wrong. But it was too complicated. There was no guarantee, and they want to charge $3,500, and it's whether it comes out right or not. No, I'm kind of aggravated because he got something with a tremendous amount of space on it, so it's like in two parts. So it's two hard drives, and when it backs up something, it backs up like part of a file on one and the other part on the other, just so it can fit more stuff, and that kind of complicated the retrieval process. So. He's just real mad at himself because it was a negligent thing that he actually did. He's accountable for it. Yeah, he had a lot going. Even in a regular mistake world, there were extenuating circumstances. He had just left the funeral. He was trying to distract himself with computer stuff, and I came upstairs and he was like, "I'm gonna throw up," and I thought he was kidding, and then I was like, "Oh, he ain't kidding." He felt like throwing up. Yeah, but he does have a backup from 2017. I was like, well, at worst, we just lost everything from the last 2 years. But I was like, you should try, because he was able to get some still pictures and documents off. I was like, maybe you should just get those off, because we probably have stuff like our gun ownership licenses and concealed carry license stuff that we just renewed. That's pretty important stuff, especially right now. Maybe some medical data, but I just hope we don't have any, vital documents. But I figure it should be okay, especially if it's just within the last 2 years. We can figure something out with that stuff. Maybe it's a message from Goddess to tell us, hey, it's okay to start over on that stuff. Or maybe you don't need it because your president finna end the world anyway,
Right.
So I just try to be supportive and listen to him and a lot of times, but that's what a lot of people, but particularly now that he kind of needs that ear, I kind of try to listen without input. I try to do that more with a lot more people because, if all this time ain't nobody really listening to, certain things, it's too late, Ain't no time to babysit nobody through nothing. So,
Right.
yeah, I just listen, and at a time when I know it's volatile, I don't say a lot because if I agree, then he'll defend. Like if he tell me complain about his sister, and I might say, well, your sister such and I'll bring up something. He'll be like, well, she means well or something. So he defending her, right? But then again, if he complain about her and I defend her, then he feels like, well, you ain't listening to what I'm saying. She did whatever. So if I defend her and if I agree with him, I'm wrong. But I know there's an emotional base with that right now, so. I try to pull back and not say anything, but that's hard, girl. When you can't either. Whatever answer you give is gonna be wrong. It's a bush in the front that he wanted real bad years ago. It's for Cynthia. A lot of people like them, but it looked like it's invasive and it grows. It's some gardener stuff. It grows. The roots can look out kind of. And so he said he wanted to chop it down, which was fine because it is sturdy. And then he was trying to pull my. And girl, I was like, oh Lord, I already know this one of them situations. This ain't gonna go well. He gonna feel like I'm not participating in helping him make a decision. And then if I do, because I don't know anything, then he's gonna feel like I'm undermining his.
You never wanted it to begin with.
Yeah, right. Like this ain't me. And eventually he gonna get to the point where he gonna be like, well, you the guard. You live here too. It's your house, and you the guard. You the green thumb. And what can I say? It ain't gonna be good. So. But, that's the worst stuff I got to complain about. This man be so affectionate with me. I ain't got, I need to let him have them moments, So I do, especially right now, because we almost 2 decades, and he been this amazing person. He entitled to go through some things, so.
Yeah.
And he got to, people out here in these streets going to work and school and under deadly circumstances. So, chilling, trying to be as supportive as possible, rub his little neck when he having trouble. Our favorite thing is a face pick. I pick out the ingrown hairs on his chin before and after he
Okay,
shaved.
that's gross, but okay.
Yeah, that's our thing. Girl, it's a lot of black couples that do that. I thought we was the only one. I call it, I had a name.
Lord.
Yeah.
The only one I know.
I call it a face pick. And so, yeah, a lot of black men be like, man, if your woman don't know how to get your ingrown hairs, and he'll lay down, he'll go to sleep. It puts him to sleep every time. So we actually do it where he's in the bed and I'm just, kind of over top of him with the tweezers. But anyway, just finding.
I want to get his ingrown hairs and see if that turns him on.
I don't know if it's sexual, but it's relaxing for him for sure. So, and just groom, like, Marty Supio's grooming and whatnot.
Yeah.
But it's a lot going on. He probably gonna have to see if they it's the way people are in America, especially black people. So he probably gonna have some trouble getting them to be honest about their financials so he can help. But I told him that, if it comes down to it and they're not fully transparent with you, then that's just, at the end of the day, we can't afford to help them. You know what I mean? So they have the opportunity right now to listen to you. They really need to let him guide them financially right now. Because,
right.
I don't know if I told you, I used to leave the room when his mom would be like, yeah, your daddy wants you to have whatever or whatever. And they start trying to talk about what they want to, leave somebody. I would leave the room because I'm like, not because I didn't want to talk about that per se, but I don't want them thinking I'm trying to get in some money that I don't even think y'all got for me myself, because I got a third eye that I've been using. I got common sense. I mean, he did a wonderful thing. He had, he was an entrepreneur. He supported them. But the truth is, when people gone, they do a lot of black men do what they are expected to do and support their families. You know what I mean? But beyond that, they can, you can say what you want to say. A lot of times the insurance policies be enough to bury somebody and to carry them for a little while, especially if they're not financially educated. And we don't get that in school. We don't get it in our black households. So, and it made me glad. I'm glad I left the room every time that they was talking about that stuff, because I was like, why are they even? This is what you need to be doing, is figuring out how you're gonna ration the money out so you can keep surviving and keep living out here with the white folks when he gone. You need to figure out how that's gonna be. So, so he's trying to get them to be smart with the retirement money as well as the insurance money, because whatever they talking about spreading, the first thing they want to do is dig in that money to pay for the funeral. So. And move some stuff around so that he could do it, just so they could avoid doing it. But I bet you eventually they still gonna end up dipping into it. They're gonna dip into it. They're gonna dip into it, and they're gonna find themselves in trouble, because in that white area, it's a very prominent area. Them taxes are still gonna count as a significant chunk that you need to come up with. Y'all need to quit playing. And the house ain't brand new. He working on stuff he can't work on forever. He can't help the leak in the basement forever. Them pipes go deep. They go out to the street and stuff. So, he just cleared the deck. If you would have seen their deck, they have evergreens that had grown all through the railings and stuff. They can't even get out to the deck, right? Whole thing clear. He gonna power wash and then paint the deck. And they can't even get to it, So, it's like, you can imagine. I mean, you grown, it's a whole bunch of little detailed stuff. They, they just now getting rid of the funeral flowers that been gone. They last overnight. Like, if you gonna let them sit up on the wreath, they not gonna last. Put them in water at the very least, I don't know. I read somebody said, in lieu of flowers. She said, in lieu of flowers, think of me when you're at the voting poll. So somebody said, it's bad if somebody on their dying bed, they dying wish was for you to fix this shit. So, yeah, it's a lot going on. It's a lot that's going to be going on, because that's what it is. And I know that I'm going to get frustrated because, to me...
Because you want to choke the bitches out?
Well, because when I get over there, I need them to have a list of stuff for me to help with. You know what I mean? At this point, we're not going over to just chit chat and visit. There's a lot that needs to be done, and y'all are old and you need help doing it. And men are getting old, so if you're not gonna take advantage of this help now, then I'm gonna want to slap bitches, because you're not gonna be old, and we old too. And now you saying, yeah, we need to clear that stuff out the basement and in the closet. It's closets that you can't reach into, because it's just stuff we need to go in and clear out. Sell it, give it to Goodwill, do what you need to do. He told them years ago, he was like, you're getting older, you might want to get a tri-level house. Look at getting a tri-level house. And they talk, they don't be wanting to move or whatever. And he's looking like, they act like it ain't no other houses in the same neighborhood. So instead of that, you got to pay thousands of dollars to get a lift now, because the old people struggling getting up the stairs. But okay. So it's just a little frustrating. You know, I love him to death. And again, I can never stop giving his sister credit for growing up at an age I thought it was way too late. So I always throw that in while I'm griping. But she's still herself. She's still being who she is. And I'm just complaining. I'm just venting now because I don't really have to worry about it too much. But when I get over there and they don't, because I'm not that person. I'm not a domestic person anyway. I don't like that. I still got to step up my own game in my own house. So I don't really want to do that type of stuff. But I know that this is something that needs to be done. And I'm with, like, I'm not getting any younger. If you're going to take advantage of this right now, do it. You got to a point, you know, where you needed me to help out a couple times. So I know it was in dire condition before he even got sick, much less before he passed. So, you know, and I think most of the frustration is in love because, you know, you don't want them to be, you know, old and having to, you know, wrestle with that stuff. This is the time to really clear spaces out.
Right.
Let your mama fall one time. Let you fall. You got to take care of her. You know what I mean? Just like you took care of your dad, except that she's not as sick. But guess what? Time gonna keep going on. Somebody gonna get
got.
Yeah. And they acting like, and now she back to acting like, you know, it's not enough time in the day. She got all this schedule. When she was a caretaker for her dad, okay. But now y'all got all that extra time. At least 3 days a week, y'all had to give up at least 4 hours to take him to dialysis. So you couldn't do things that you needed to do. You know, your schedule was, now you got all this time freed up. What you doing? You know, you want to give people their morning time. It's important to grieve, you know, so I don't discount any of valid emotions at all. But but time is short now. A week is worth a month right now in this world, in this nation. So if you wait, a month gonna pass, 2 months gonna pass, then it's gonna be somebody's birthday celebration. It's gonna be some holiday, so we ain't gonna mess with it on this whatever occasion, and it's gonna be 2027.
Right.
And guess how old I'm gonna be? Too old to do that stuff that I'm trying to get you to make a list. Cause it's if it's some personal stuff you don't want me to see or bother with, fine. But put me in a room full of stuff that you haven't looked at in 15 years, cause you got them rooms. And have me go crazy in there, you know, get some gloves, cause I don't know what's living in it. And let us do what it do. Clean out that garage. He was the only person that had stuff piled up in that garage. Let him go to town in there. Let him go to town in that shed back there. He's the only man, you know, right now amongst all of us.
Right. Hold on. Let me go in here right quick.
Okay.
Don't hang up.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you said for reading, but they're trifocal, so are there glasses you wear all the time, or?
These are contacts.
As soon as you told me that, I was like, that should be some LASIK magic happening with your eye. But I'm glad he got it because he didn't even have regular problems. He had a whole eye that didn't work since he was young.
Oh.
Yeah. So it literally, like when he was young, he had glasses that pretty much had a working lens only in one of the eyes.
Oh.
Because the other one don't even, you know, he got LASIK, and I mean it ain't perfect, but he could use both his eyes. You know what I mean? And he would do little exercises. You know your brother-in-law's smart. So he would, you know, he did his research, and he would do little exercise to exercise the use of his eye, because his eye wasn't used to working since he was little. So it did wonders for him. But again, he was an exceptional case. If it was just some little, you know, glasses, I think it would have been, you know, more concerning. But it was like the worst thing that can happen is it won't work, and he still won't be able to use his eye.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect, but he, you know, his eye, he could see he had never been able to really use that eye. So that was it was worth it in that case. And I wonder how that would work for somebody that only needs like reading. I guess you can't get LASIK if you only need readers though. I mean, if you only need it for reading, how is that? Because I can't see regular stuff with my readers. Like I see better without my readers for regular stuff other than text.
Oh.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, so it seemed like people that just use readers probably wouldn't benefit as much from LASIK. But I don't know. I ain't playing with my eyeballs. I only got 2. I know that much.
Right.
So.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hope they get that together then. You got to go back and pick up the redo or something? You all doctored up like a zombie? Like you need to be, got your mask and whatnot? Crazy world. I told everybody, I ain't want to listen. I'm crazy. The truth teller crazy. And here we are. I posted something a few years ago that said, y'all better love who you love right now and make the most of it, because any day now y'all can look in y'all backyard and off in the distance you see a cloud of smoke. And it happened to Beirut yesterday, so.
Girl, that was so bad.
That's what I was talking about when I said that. We only know what they tell us anyway. So
But my point is, your president in these states.
I don't know, because none of it even matters anymore. Okay, it's honest and valuable and real talk, all of that.
But anyway, I just want to check on how he was doing.
Yeah.
I hate that he's going through all that, but I know.
Yeah, I guess the light at the end of the tunnel is, like I said, she did grow up a little bit, so hopefully that's the sense that she could use to help evolve her into another level of maturity. Hopefully, they best bet right.
You think he gonna pay your back though?
Yeah, I do. Because just only because yes, but only because I'm just saying these are expensive fucking things. So if you not even counting, and these aren't things that we're looking to be paid back for. You understand? So thank God for him and them that he's not with a materialistic woman. Cause a woman, the type of females that are becoming adult age, I don't mean women, the adult age females in this era right here, his family ain't finna cut in on her shopping money.
Right.
And even if she don't consider it shopping money, her household upkeep money.
Right.
Now, I don't care because I don't ever need much in terms of materialism and stuff like that. I'm not that chick. I'm easy to go. I always have so much stuff in my possession is gifts and thrift store finds.
Yeah.
But so I'm not that chick. I'm cool. It's amazing how deep cognitive dissonance runs. It makes people willing to sit back and watch our own demise. And like when you say it does matter, yeah, it does still matter as long as we're alive, but it just gets frustrating to know that the masses are oblivious.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why I shrug my shoulders and I'm like, that's cute that it matters to you. Cause what if it matters to you and me and the other 17 mofos out there that got enough sense to care? Everybody else is going along and we all getting picked off one by one. Well, I've been said this, but it's been proven now, not even technically by stats, because you can't trust stats. You can't trust nothing the government says. You can't trust half of what professionals say in this era that we in right now. And when I tell people that, they'll roll their eyes or whatever. And I know what it is. It's a defense mechanism, because really what people gonna do when they realize, it's like what you were saying about being a painful waking up. Except for you're strong enough to confront that pain. People aren't strong enough to confront that pain. So it's easy. Even for a long time, I really want to hear none of the stuff I was talking about. But guess what? Here we are. And that's the reason why sometimes I get frustrated and I just don't even be wanting to talk about it no more, because I feel like, and there's nothing I can do, because that sounds petty. You go back, you're like, well, when I tried to tell you, nobody listened. Don't nobody want to hear that either. You know what I mean? Because this ain't a world of accountability. So it's not only a world of accountability for people that do shitty stuff and don't want to be accountable. It's also not accountable for people that enable the shitty stuff to be done. And then for you to, nobody wants to hear, well, you let them do it. Who wants to hear that?
Right.
I don't either. You know what I mean? I don't either. Sometimes when I end up checking people, I'm checking myself too. I tell people in a minute, I talk a lot of trash about people that sold out. But I got a sellout price. Let them meet my sellout price. I'll stop talking. Because it's about survival at this point.
Yeah.
So even as I talk about some people, sellouts, whatever, coons, whatever, they survive in the best way they can with what they got, because they resisted all the knowledge their whole lives. And the reason why they resisted all their knowledge their whole lives, because we've been conditioned to think a certain thing and to believe everything a certain commercial tell us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and as people start realizing that all the stuff that they thought crazy people was talking about is real, like, they go even further, to paint the people as crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because then they will have to admit, oh my God, this been hiding in plain sight, and I've been letting it happen. And sacrificing my kids, the elders. We're sacrificing our kids' lives. We're sacrificing our elders' lives. Everybody's lives. Because, we just, we conditioned to put an age on it. But kids are dying too.
Yeah.
We don't hear about the kids that are dying of COVID. You know why? Because they gotta keep the narrative of sick and old. As soon as they said immunosusceptible people and old people, and then it's a few infants that have died. I know people in New Jersey that know 12-year-olds, but there's a narrative that always comes with these things. And I'm sitting back. I'm gonna send you a post I saw. Everybody with any common sense has seen this coming. All is coming. But you feel helpless. I do too. You know what I mean? What I'm gonna do?
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do? Especially now, if there were more people that were conscious, and even if you don't take physical action, if you're even just being vocal, You know, some people just hush their mouth just to stay out of it. I don't want no trouble. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, because sometimes when men talking too much and we start laughing, we be like, yeah, because that's what it is. And then I look at them like, you better shut up. You know, our agent listening, they probably laughing like, ooh, little do that couple know how much they really do know. They really do know what's going on. And it's so much big stuff going on, all the little stuff gonna stay successfully changed. Like, the people that make our food, they don't have to follow any kind of safety regulations no more. If you notice the formula and some of the favorite stuff you like to eat and stuff like that, it's different. And I'll tell you, there have been a couple of things. I can't remember what it was last night, but I said, you know what? I was like, this is different. And I was like, and it's not the only thing. I started rattling off stuff. He was like, it is different. That do taste different too. And I was like, yeah. I was like, this is just like that, the neem oil. Like, I had got some neem oil. Neem oil, that's supposed to protect your plants while it's killing, insects and stuff, whatever. And it was killing my plants. I was like, what the hell? And I look at the ingredients. It's 0.01% actual neem, or not even neem oil, it's extracts. And to me, that's a code word for not really what you thought it was anyway. And the 99% was other ingredient. They don't even say what it is. I'm like, I got this big bottle of neem oil and not even 0.01% of it is actual neem. Like, what is the world? And I was like, I was like, this explains my wilt proof, because I had something called wilt proof, and it's in a big green bottle. And I used this stuff, and it was amazing. Well, it worked so well that I was spraying something. It keeps it from a plant from wilting. And it worked so well that the plant was dead, and I didn't realize it because it stayed green, but the roots, it hadn't grown no roots. That's how well it worked. I ran out, and so I bought a new bottle last year. Do you know, everywhere I sprayed that stuff, even when I missed it, the little mist things, they put little white spots on the leaves, and then within 24 hours, they was dead. They was fried off. And I was like, what is this? Because this is the same bottle of the same stuff that I was using before. Like, what is this right now? You really got to be careful of everything. And you can't escape, because even though I grow my own food, it's stuff I got to get at the store. It's stuff I'm going to want to get at the store. It's stuff I'm addicted to that I'm a sugar addict, just like everybody else. Carbs, sugar, I ain't going to stop eating pizza tomorrow. So even though they going to force y'all to get this vaccine, they ain't going to force me to get it. But you know what? They going to get me somehow. I'm not oblivious to the fact that they going to get me. I ain't just because I'm smart enough to know that they own some bullshit don't mean that they ain't going to get me too. Because not just my peers, my species been going for the okie doke for decades, generations. And they so good at it, they don't even have to be smart. They don't even have to act like it's not what it is no more. They like, yeah, we going to get y'all at will. We going to ask you for we going to demand your freedom papers, so to speak. When they were running on building the wall, I did a whole hour-long session to be like, y'all really, not stupid, but y'all really gullible. You're really malleable. I was like, do you think he really thinks he's going to build a wall? That's not the wall, even the wall he's talking about. The wall ain't to keep other people out. It's to keep you in at the end of the day. Watch and see. Why my brother-in-law didn't take you?
Just be thankful you there.
I'm gonna fight his big black ass. Watch.
Yeah, it's all good. He said he's gonna stay at home with the boys.
Okay.
And I have a handicap sticker that's good through January 2021. So.
Okay, good. That's good. Well, take care of it, and if your stomach can handle it, take you a baby aspirin every day, because blood clots ain't no joke.
Yeah, I remember.
So
yes, ma'am.
To hit you some baby aspirin every day.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, please do.
Okay, love you, bye.
I love you. Let me know how it go.
Okay.
All right.